Asanjo's work in Mombasa so far in fighting COVID-19 is quite exemplary. But where are the other governors and counties they govern, or they don't have enough money?
Governor Joho's response and efforts are very commendable, and I want to loud him out as a leader. He's really doing much for this state, as you've noticed, and I want to highlight again that the fact that he's been noted for this is because his county, Mombasa, that is an epicenter of the virus, so it always makes headlines no matter what. So I believe. As much as he's doing a lot for the people, which I really appreciate, it's not that other governors are not doing. As you've noticed, some governors like Dr. Kivutha Kibwana of Makueni changed a youth facility into a health facility for COVID-19 care under a very few days, and it's already functional and waiting for numbers to come in. And as you've noticed, that there are also the other counties have left out isolation centers and stuff, and I have been identified places to be used for isolation, and that's something that is commendable. Only that you can't compare their investment as much as that of epicenters or like Mombasa, because Mombasa has to put extra measures, and for Joe to have done that is really commendable. And it's only to say that other governors are also doing something at least for their counties. Because they've not yet reported cases, or they have like 1 or 2 cases, so it's yet to be an issue of concern. But okay, let's go on with that.
Oh, okay, Benny Kirira, I mean, most Kenyans, if not all of them, they are really applauding those who work in Mombasa. I mean, where are the other county governments?
Yeah, governors.
Kirira, if you can hear me.
Yes, Abel. On that note, I would like to say that residents of Mombasa, normally we hear that, or normally we say that watu wa Mombasa wametulia sana. But I think Glenda mentioned something to do with ignorance. Residents of Mombasa have actually heeded to what the government said, because I remember a while back, about a week ago, is when the lockdown started between Mombasa, Kilifi, and Kwale, and so far we have not had cases of people trying to cross the borders in illegal ways. That is a matter. That is a matter of respect. That is a matter of not having the ignorance. But looking at the other counties, I believe. I don't know whether it's the governors who are trying to hide behind the Ministry of Health and hide behind Uhuru Kenyatta and hide behind the government at large, or they're just waiting on the government to handle their cases for them. What I'm saying is governors should come out and talk for themselves. They should not be hiding and waiting for Mutahi Kagwe to tell them your county has such a number of cases, this is what you should do. Joho took it upon himself to handle his own citizens. He took Mombasa like a country, not a county. He decided to work on everything that, to cushion his own residents. And I believe governors in other counties should take upon the same initiative. They should implement the same initiative, working with their residents as a country and not waiting for the national government to feed the county government. Abel.
Again, so far looking at those who work in Mombasa, some politicians have come out and stated that they're not given, counties are not allocated the same amount of funding. I mean, is that an excuse not to combat COVID-19 like in Mombasa County? Again.
Thank you so much, Abel. I don't think that's an acceptable excuse for the leaders to say that they don't have enough resources, while they can't even use the little resources they have.
Yeah.
For instance, I saw a county like Baringo. The governor came out and said that we have set aside like 200 million to control this COVID-19, but he never further explained how this money can be used. While in other counties, for example, Mombasa, we have seen Joho himself that he has dedicated that and even set a manufacturing center whereby thousands of masks are produced daily and distributed freely. And he even went ahead and urged the traffic police that if you find a passenger or citizens without mask, please don't arrest them. Give this to them. So this is time for the leaders from the MPs, senators, even women reps to prove that they are dedicated leaders who can be depended upon in times of need. You find that some of these leaders have just for to add on that, I could really wish to urge the leaders that this is their time now to show us that to show their interest, to show that they are really dedicated leaders who can really help during these times of need. For instance, we have seen that Governor Joho, as I can say, some people have been criticizing that he's just an educated leader, but this is the time to show that leadership is not about the amount of the titles you have academically. It's about what you can give to the citizens. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much for your input, Bernard Keegan. Glenda, let me bring you in. What's your take on that issue? Is your county government doing the same as compared to Mombasa County?
No, I don't think my county government is doing the same compared to Mombasa County, but I think my governor is trying. He is actually trying with donations and stuff, but I can commend Joho a whole more, because yesterday I was looking at some clips and he's actually put a spray there's a spray that he's put on board as people come in, where you're sprayed with, I think, the sanitizer or something as you pass through the chain. Yeah, which is very commendable, and it's the whole body that is being sprayed. So Joho has put in a lot of measures, and I can say that I can support Ben the way he said, treat your county as your country. Let your county be your country. Treat it as your country. In this will be, if we do this, a lot of things will be implemented. These governors, these leaders, they are not being seen anywhere. People who are doing these great things to others, donations, are people who are not even known in this society. Funny enough, the people who are bringing out the donations are people who are not even recognized anywhere by people, which is so great. So our leaders should put a step forward, do something for your country, not your county. Let's prevent this together. Let's work as leaders. I think leaders, leaders should try do something. Wache uoga. Sai hata tukishikwa wote, hakuna mtu ataenda majuu. We are all gonna die here if it is to happen. So let's prevent this all together. Our leaders, this is something that I'm really wishing. Tokeni kwa hizo manyumba. Put on the whole attire like Sonko. But come out and do something for your people. Let us one day stand there and say, we saw this governor doing this for us as a country. So, tutakupigia kura, you are the one to choose. Yes.
Okay, I get your point. Okay, gentlemen and lady, let us now switch gears altogether. Now, Kenyans abroad, for instance in China, have been left on their own for Ambassador Kamau says they went to those countries legally. That is, they had not been registered. But again, what is your take on that? Don't you think those Kenyans or those individuals still have their rights which are to be respected? Again.
Abel, it is very painful and so disheartening to see thousands of Kenyans and African in China racially discriminated, especially in Guangzhou. You find that some of them are kicked out of their houses and forced to sleep on the streets in those chilly nights with no food and even water. And some of them have come out and said that they are denied access to supermarkets and other social amenities. So while Kenyan leaders now, this is the opportune moment that they should have taken to protect the Africans abroad. But it was very painful to see leaders like, for example, PS Kamau defending the Chinese and his colleague Ambassador Serem, saying that those Africans there, those Kenyans there, they don't have maybe the proper passports and even the visas. Some of them are just illegally there. While here, Abel, you have seen here in Kenya, some of the Chinese nationals abusing Kenyans. Like we have just recently, we've seen some of the Chinese caning an African, a Kenyan here. And even some of them abused us. They call us even monkeys and even the president. while we normally treat these cases individually, we don't just say that all the Chinese nationals are very bad and chase them away, but we normally treat them just case by case. And what we normally do is not to send them to the streets, not to lock them out of their rooms, but we just deport them. So I really wonder now that how this government is doing. Is it that it's just afraid of talking to China because we owe them a lot of money? I don't know.
Okay, I get your point again. Allow me to bring in Alan Polycarp. Alan, our old ambassador, with all due respect, one person was a very good experience in matters diplomat, Ambassador Kamau. And I want to quote him. He said, legacy matatu ya kurukaruka ila pahali kuchukua watu. I mean, Kenyans have been left on their own. But don't you think, Alan, these individuals still have rights which are out to be respected?
Thank you. First, I want to note the fact that he mentioned ndege si matatu inarukaruka huku na huko. What he meant by that in terms of aviation, very expensive for a plane to land in a country and leave. So to make a stop in every country is really expensive unless it's waived and given out freely for them to move around and get people. That's what he basically meant by ndege si matatu. But on the matter of how non-Chinese citizens are being handled in China is really disgraceful, and I really want to condemn that. No matter the situation in any particular instance, human rights must always be upheld, and this is the dehumanization to the last level. And I believe, as much as the ambassador was saying that China gave an apology, I believe an apology is never enough to unmatch dehumanization. And according to my view, the Kenyan government should have immediately lifted those citizens back home. And China being a country that is really diversifying its efforts and trying to reach every part of the world, this is a large step they've taken back, and it will always affect them even after the virus is long gone. This is a thing that will really impact on their movements around the world, and I think Chinese is the most vulnerable society, and they should have done something about it. And
sorry for interruption.
As I see time is going.
This interruption due to time constraints. Allow me to bring in Benedict Pereira. What is your take on that? I mean, Kenyans are sleeping outside, they're being harassed, they're not allowed to get into restaurants. In abroad, that is, for instance, in China. What is your take on that, Pereira?
First, I would like to say that the Kenyan government is allowing foreign governments to have their airlines come into the country to deport, mainly to deport their nationals back to their country. I think Kenya should be in a position to liaise with the Chinese government. The Kenyan government should liaise with the Chinese government to be able to have the Kenyans in that specific area deported back into the country. On the issue of saying that ndege si matatu ya kurukaruka, and saying that Kenyans in that country are there illegally, the fact remains that these are still Kenyans, whether they have visas or whether they have proper documentation to be there or not. These are still Kenyans, and one way or another, they are going to end up in this country. You see, so the government should take it upon themselves. These people should be brought back into the country. I understand that the risk might be high because of the intercontinental traveling, but once they arrive into the country, they can undergo the proper process of isolation in the various units that we have in this country. And after they've been assessed, and whether they are positive or negative, the negative cases could be released into their homes, where they are going to again follow the directives by the ministry.
Okay, Kirila. Okay, I get your point. Thank you very much. Due to time constraints, allow me to bring in Glenda. Glenda, as in here in Kenya, we do live with the Chinese people, for instance, in common, but it does not apply the same in their country. What is not happening?
So the government, I think there's a problem there, because I can say it's not only in China. Yesterday I was talking to someone who is in Abu Dhabi, a lady who's in Abu Dhabi, and she was telling me that the situation there is so bad. They're actually being forced to go on unpaid leave. You're being told you're sick, you're not even sick, you're being chased out of work. So the situation is really bad, and the government needs to do something about our Kenyans who are not in the country. I can say the lady was actually telling me, you know, when you're in a certain country, you depend on your embassy, but the embassy that is abroad is not even working, is not even making an effort to support the people in the other countries. And the embassy is the place where most of the Kenyans who are in other countries are supposed to go and actually get relief from. So the government should try and do something about what is happening, even if it's bringing the Kenyans back on board and do a proper process of isolation, as said by Ben. So I think these people should be brought on board, and also those who are in the other countries illegally. For God's sake, these are still Kenyans. No matter what, they're still Kenyans. So they just need to be brought back home. There's no argument on that. They just need to be brought back home.
Okay, I get your point, Glenda Cheng, and on that note, we could it a wrap. I hope you really did enjoy this discussion. It has been a great discussion with a great panelist, and that was David Kirira, who is a reporter in P24 TV, and also Bernard Kigen, who is a political analyst, as well as Glenda Cheng, who is a digital content creator in MediaMax, as well as Alan Polycarp, who is a journalist and an analyst. Gentlemen and ladies, thank you very much for your inputs. I hope we'll do this next time. And also you at home, keep safe. Let's observe social distance. Let us wash our hands. Let us stand together.